Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. We have Wapahani Lady Raider Volleyball coming your way here this evening from beautiful Raider Gymnasium in Selma, Indiana. The 11-11 Alexandria Lady Tigers taking on your 15-2 Wapahani Lady Raiders. Glad to have all you with us here, folks, as we'll dig right into things here with our Raiders Live pregame presented by Tom Cherry Mufflers. I'm Brandon Morvillius. Alongside here with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. The Raiders got a very good win last night, a big MEC conference game with Monroe Central at Monroe Central last night. Really a tough ball game, very exciting, especially from the standpoint. I really like the crowd reaction last night. The crowd was definitely into the game. Wapahani had a pretty good first part of the game where we was up 23-17 that first set. End up dropping at 25-23, but that's really not the story. It's how they answered back after that first set is really what I took away from the match. We didn't, let that first set kind of get in the way of the agenda for the evening, and that was to go out there, handle business accordingly, and as usual, and get the job done and win the ball game. They stayed focused, they stayed hungry out there on the court, and found a way to win. And really, it was 3 sets in a row, second, third, and fourth sets. Wapahani just dominated, and that's what you're really looking for. We had definitely a letdown. You had an opportunity there in the first set to take a quick 1-0 lead. Just kind of lost focus there a little bit, but we was able to regain focus and got back after it in that second, third, and fourth set. And that's why we was able to have the success that we had, and that's why we won last night's game. So hopefully we do much of that same thing here this evening. Continue to be focused and be hungry out there on the court. Never settle for mediocrity and go out there and take it to Alexandria here this evening. Now, these two teams, like I said, they're a little bit different. You look at Alexandria, they're 11-11. That's usually not a record that they would have during this part of the season. They lost a lot of players from last year's team. Wapahani lost quite a few players as well from last year's team. So this should still be a very good matchup. Don't let the record deceive you from the kind of game this potentially could be. But with that said, you still hope that Wapahani will come out here, do what they're supposed to do, play the game the right way, and handle things the way they should be handling it, and get the victory here at home. It's always big time to defend your home court, and hopefully Wapahani's up for the task here this evening against Alexandria. Again, this has been another very busy week for these ladies. They'll be back at it on Saturday. They have the Muncie Central Invitational on Saturday, which I'm assuming will probably be held at Southside. That's where I think all of their games for the past year or so have been held with things going on there at the field house. And so on and so forth. That's unfortunately been going on there. But nevertheless, like I said, they're supposed to have the Invitational on Saturday. Like I said, I'm assuming it's going to be at Southside. I would imagine that it would be. I can't imagine where it would be anywhere else. But I'm fairly positive that Wapahani will play right around 10:30, 11 o'clock, somewhere around in that area. Now, we will not be going to the Invitational this year. We have in years past. With the way that the setup was going to be and everything else, I wasn't really sure if it'd even be worth doing it, just from the simple fact that I don't know exactly where we would be sitting at. That's if we would even be allowed to do it to begin with, to be honest with you. So probably not going to bother in going to the games, unfortunately, but we do wish the ladies the best of luck on Saturday. But first and foremost, taking care of business tonight. We hope all of you enjoy the game, enjoy our broadcast here. We have the national anthem coming up, and also the rosters for both teams. So, again, we'll have that coming up live here on the WHS Network. This has been the Raiders Live pregame presented by Tom Cherry Mufflers. We'll step aside for a break. We'll be back with more here on the WHS Network. Alrighty, welcome back here, folks. Trying to get back on here as quick as possible. Like I said, we've got the national anthem in and then had to get the rosters done. So now we can talk about the rosters for both teams. Starting off here with the Alexandria Lady Tigers. Number 1, Caitlin Bear. Number 2, Olivia Hall. Number 3, Mackenzie Adams. Number 4, Callie Humphreys. Number 5, Taylor Steinfeld. Number 6, Kinsey Andrew. Number 7, Lauren Dungan. Number 8, Aubrey McCann. Number 9, Morgan Moore. Number 10, Riley Heiser. Number 11, Allison Granger. Number 12, Carly Remington. Number 13, Jenna Reese Van Blair. Number 14, Alexis B. Number 15, Allie Honeycutt. The Lady Tigers are coached by Caitlin Foster. Now we'll take a look here at your Wapahani Lady Raiders. You got number 4, Haven Gates. Number 5, Emily Stewart. Number 6, Estella Davis. Number 7, Sarah Orm. Number 8, Allison Stewart. Number 9, Mallory Summers. Number 11, Emma Schuck. Number 12, Cameron Curry. Number 13, Maddie Webb. Number 15, Layla Lee. Number 16, Olivia Smith. And number 17, Cadence Brewer. Lady Raiders are coached by Jared Richardson, assisted by Jenna Easton and Katina Nichols. So back to serve to open up tonight's game will be number 7. That was Lauren Dungan. Tipped over the net, a little free ball action early here in this one. And mistimed there to Stella Davis as Alexandria will take a quick 1-0 lead. Orm with the dig, Stewart with a set to Davis and 2 hits. Called on the Raiders. Nice set, but unfortunately Davis gets that one out of bounds, and it's now 3-0. Stewart with a set up to Sarah Orm, dug out that time by, I think that was Van Blair. Summers to Stewart, back to Davis, and worked out nicely there to get the Raiders on the board. So we'll see Emma Schuck back to serve. Wapahani down 3-1. And that will hit the old top of the net. Not a bad idea to get the floater serve in there, but unfortunately just barely missed from getting over. So Smith now in the ball game. Olivia Smith, number 8. McCann was back there to serve just a second ago. Davis back on the attack, notches a kill. To make it a 4-2 ball game with Sarah Orm back to serve. Nice serve there from Sarah. Back on the attack there was Caitlin Bear. Now to Davis once again. Tipped up in the air. Gates lays out for it. Set to Summers. And we'll free ball. Here we go. Set back to Davis again. Nice tip up in the air there by number 5, Steinfeld. And that one was off the blocker's hand and out of bounds. Point there for the Raiders. Kill for Mallory Summers. So it took a second there to find the volleyball. Went out in the hallway. Again, the Raiders down 4-3. Wapahani has had a busy week. They played Monday night. Got the job done. They're against, can't remember exactly who that was. That was just now escaping my mind. But they got Delville. Thank you, Redbeard. Took me a second. we've had so many games within the past week or so. I think we've nearly had pretty close to 7 or 8 games within the past week and a half. So we at some point lose track of things. So a 5-4 lead here for Alexandria, but nevertheless, the Raiders got the win against Daleville on Monday night. Then on Wednesday, just last night, traveled to Monroe Central. Obviously won that one in 4 sets. They're going to say that was out of bounds, a point there for the Raiders. So again, Wapahani been playing some good volleyball. Aside from definitely some miscues that we have had, I think overall we've put definitely a very good step forward here, and hopefully we can just continue to build from there. Number 12, currently Remington back to serve. Summers to Stewart, back to Summers again, bringing the thunder on that hit to tie it at 6. And Emma Shuck back into the Raider lineup. We'll see Allison Stewart back to serve. And that one served out of bounds. So Wapahani making some early miscues here this evening. Alexandria really hasn't done a whole lot from the standpoint of, to really give them the recognition for this first 7 points. It's just Wapahani hasn't played as effectively to the opening part of this ball game here tonight. So Summers back to serve. And miscommunication between Dungan and Hall will cost them a point there, and the Raiders will now take an 8-7 lead. Served right back into the net again. So we've already probably had more serving errors tonight than what we've had, at least in the last few games combined. Done a much better job than the last, I would say, 6 to 7 games of really coming out here and playing just good, clean volleyball. Keeping the ball inbounds on the serves. I mean, obviously, you want to make it to where, you're putting as much pressure on the defense as possible, but we've done an overall a solid job with service pressure. Hitting has been very good. Every facet of the game we've done a really solid job on. Like I said, especially these last 6 or 7 games. But from time to time, you're going to have a hiccup. Just got to make sure and limit those as much as possible, as Haven Gates will come away with an ace. So what the Raiders really need right here is to go on a run. Really separate themselves from the Lady Tigers here this evening. Nice floater serve there, kept alive by Heiser. Now free ball. Stewart back to Davis. And a net violation called on Alexandria. Gates will dig it out. Stewart sets it to Shuck. And again, just more miscommunication on behalf of the Tigers. Dug out, set that time by Heiser. Blocked and a lift called on the Tigers. And now we'll have a timeout taken here by Alexandria. And we'll go ahead and stick right here with you during the timeout. This will be our B. Joseph Davis game break. We'd like to thank B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, located at 400 East Jackson Street in Muncie, Indiana. At the law offices of B. Joseph Davis, which is a highly recommended and respected professional corporation. They strive to aggressively represent all their clients' interests in all phases of any legal matter. Their team has extensive experience in personal injury, as well as criminal defense, which includes drunk driving, criminal record, bankruptcy expungements, and hardship licenses. For more information, visit his website at www.bjosephdavis.com. So not the best of starts here by Wapahani, but still with a 4-point lead. That's all that matters. You start doing some good things, hopefully you build off of that, and hopefully the good things will overshadow some of the bad things. So we'll have Haven Gates back to serve, back out of the timeout. Kept alive there by Orm. Set right back to her and off the blocker's hands, out of bounds. So hopefully we're starting to see that tide turn here a little bit. Get some momentum on our side. Heiser with the setup to Steinfeld. There's Gates to Stewart to Orm, and again with the kill. Now a 15-9 ball game. The floater served well placed by Haven Gates, bringing another ace to the table. And in will come number 8, Aubrey McCann for Alexandria. Wapahani looks to continue to push this lead just a little bit more. Heiser over there to Steinfeld. There's Summers to Stewart. Back to Davis, bringing the hammer. And an ace once again for Haven Gates. So the woes continue on the defensive side of the ball here for Alexandria. Mishandling the serves. Not very good on the passing department there, but a job well done there by Sarah Orm. So a soft touch over the net there. Number 7, Lauren Dungan will collect the point there for the Tigers. And she will now be back to serve. Summers with the dig, set to Orm. And I tell you what, Sarah has got it going on. She has been the answer. And right now, Alexandria can't seem to solve the problem here. Orm has been a major thorn in the side of the Tigers to open up this game here tonight. It's a 19-11 lead here for the Raiders. Back to Davis on the attack. They'll be dug out and out of bounds. Great job there by the ladies recognizing where they were at on the court. And Orm once again back to serve as the Raiders are up by 9. McCann there with a dig, set and tipped over the net by Bear. She's able to sneak one in some open real estate. Number 11, Allison Granger, back in here for the Tigers. There's Gates, there's Stewart, Davis, and another net violation called on Alexandria. Those are killers. You know, little things that hurt any kind of momentum you're trying to mount. It's always a big-time letdown for the team. Summers unleashing the beast on that one. Reaching all the way back to give Wapahani now a 10-point lead. And out of bounds as the serve there by Estella Davis, but still a job well done nonetheless. Olivia Smith in here. We got Cadence Brewer, Allison Stewart, Mallory Summers, Haven Gates, and Sarah Orm on the floor here for the Raiders. As they're up by 9, just 3 points away from taking an early 1-0 lead. And look at Allison Stewart using the old left hand, tipping it over the net. And down in play for an opportunity here to give the Raiders a 1-0 lead here if all goes well these next 2 points. Set up to Dungan. Orm with the dig. Stewart now to Summers again. And finding... Looked like she found the back corner, but they said that the ball is out of bounds. And now we'll see number 2, Olivia Hall, back in for Alexandria. She'll sub in here. Heiser now to serve. Orm will dig it. Stewart sets it. Shuck tips it over. Not much more she could have done with that one. Punched over that time by Dungan. Now Shuck back on the attack. Free ball. Let's see what we can do right here. Summers back on the attack. Nice dig. Nicely done. Somehow is able to get it over. Dug out that time by Moore. Dungan will get it blocked by Cadence Brewer. So here we are at set point, 24-14. And you got the right woman for the job right here. One of the deadliest serves you'll see. Gates with the dig, laying out for that one. Here we go, Stewart to Shuck. Yes! And the Raiders will drop the Tigers here in set number 1, 25-14. Great way to start this game here tonight, folks. We'll step aside for a break. And we'll be back here with set number 2 momentarily live on the WHS Network.
You need legal advice or representation, you can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
Welcome back there, folks. Glad to have you all with us here this evening again. Brandon Morvillius alongside with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. Wapahani with a 1-0 lead here early in this one, 25-14 first set victory. Great way to start things out. And first part of that of the opening set was kind of back and forth, a little wishy-washy here and there. And unfortunately, Wapahani making some rare mistakes. Got things cleaned up and hit the ground running. Then from there, it was all Raiders. Really, after that, I think it was tied at one time. It was 7-7, and Wapahani went on a nice big run, continued to lay it on them, and that's the reason why we was able to have a lopsided first set victory. So we're hoping much of the same thing will happen here in set number 2. Continue doing the good things that you was doing and leave the bad things behind. Got very quiet in here for a second. You had a lot of cheering, and then all of a sudden you could hear a pencil drop. So nevertheless, set number 2 now underway. Haven Gates was back there to serve for the Raiders. Set that time to Bear and dug out by Summers. And 2 hits called on Allison Stewart. And again, right there, sometimes you just try to maybe do a little too much. Close right there to the net. She's trying to stay out of the net. She's trying to make a good set. Just is what it is. You still love the attempt, though, nonetheless. Block kept alive by Mallory Summers. Heiser with a tip over. Free ball action. Set to Curry. And that will land in there for the first kill of the night there for Cameron. Great job by Curry, as we will see Olivia Smith now in the ball game for her, and she'll be back to serve. And the second set tied at 1. Dug out, set there to Bear, and into the net. Set that time tipped over by Steinfeld. Summers with a layout there. Orm will somehow get it back across. You can kind of tell she's got something special going on here for herself tonight. Davis on the prowl. Nice dig, and Bear. Stewart set to Orm. And again, notches another kill. Good to see everybody offensively contributing here. She had a real nice game last night. I think she had 14 kills, Sarah did last night. Estella, if my memory serves me correctly, I think had 10 or 12. When you're seeing a balanced attack, and not only from those two girls, you had some other girls in there as well. Emma Shuck. Did a nice job. Allison Stewart, Mallory Summers. When you're seeing consistency from an assortment of players, then you got it going right. Tipped over by Estella Davis. That was really a very well executed opportunity right there. Not a whole lot you could have done with it. They were so close with the passes to the set there by Allison Stewart. Davis couldn't do a whole lot, just have a little soft tip over the net. Worked out very well for us. So we'll see number 12, Remington back there to serve. Set to Davis, and Van Blair won't get there in time, as Estella will continue her nice game here so far. Already a 5-3 lead here for the Raiders. Estella back to serve. Brewer now into the Raiders lineup. Heiser sets it there to Dungan. Smith with the dig. Set to Summers. And if you could tell right there, she went for the windup. Looked like she was just really going to hammer the ball down. And then pulled back, little soft tip over the net. Completely fooled the defense. Heiser back to serve for Alexandria. Orm digs it out. Stewart with the setup to Brewer. Off the hands of Orm. More than likely, she wouldn't have touched that. That would have been all Haven Gates all day long. But she thought she had a good read on the ball. Unfortunately, didn't work out too well. So a 6-5 ball game. Tigers still serving. And that time an ace again. Now tied at 6. Summers on the attack there, dug out by Heiser. Van Blair will set it up there to Moore. Brewer back on the attack again. So a log jam right there on the front row, and somehow Gates was able to just knock it right on over, and nobody was there to do anything with it. Gates with a setup to Curry, and out of bounds. In comes number 8, Aubrey McCann. Curry back on the attack. Dug out that time by McCann once again. Summers able to collect the point there for the Raiders as they now take an 8-7 lead. And right at this point in the first set, this is when the Raiders started really getting it going. Let's see if we can do much of the same here in set number 2. Set to Orm and out of bounds. So back and forth we go. Caitlin Bear back in for Alexandria, and now serving be number 7, Lauren Dungan. Stewart back over to Sarah Orm. Heiser now to Van Blair and hit into the net. Stewart will hit it over. Free ball here for the Tigers. Van Blair on the attack. And a net violation called on Wapahani. So Van Blair now back to serve. Tied at 9 in set number 2. Looking for Wapahani to take control here. And they're doing anything but that. Davis able to get it to go. Tied at 10, Olivia Smith back in here for Cameron Curry. And Olivia will be back to serve. Again, Wapahani up 1-0 with a 25-14 first set victory. Dug out Gates to Stewart to Davis. Mishandled by Heiser. And that will once again give the Raiders a 1-point lead. I don't think the lead's even been higher than 2. I think at one time it was 3-1 Wapahani. Well, that's been about it. Set to Orm. Kept alive again there by Haven Gates. Summers will get it back over. Free ball here for the Tigers. And Bear clearly bearing down and put everything behind that ball to tie this game at 11. As number 11, Allison Granger, re-enters the Tigers lineup. Number 9, Morgan Moore back to serve. A kill for Orm. So she continues her hot streak tonight. Back in here for Alexandria will be number 12, Carly Remington. So she will be back to serve. A tie game at 12. Set number 2 of the evening. Neither team really wanting to take control of this matchup here in this second set. Dungan on the attack, mishandled by Smith. Good hustle there from Haven Gates, but unable to get to it in time, and it's now a 13-12 Tigers lead. So now a 2-point lead here for the Tigers. Couple of passing errors. Back to back. Nice dig there. Stewart with a setup to Davis. Now to Summers. Real nice set there. And a great finish by Mallory Summers. Now 14-13. Brewer back in and Davis back to serve. Heiser to Dungan. Missed time, but still got it over. Back to Summers, blocked and inbounds for Alexandria. Tipped over there by Stewart. Heiser with a setup to Dungan once again, blocked. Now to Van Blair, tipped over the hands of the Raider blockers. So the largest lead of the second set. Now for Alexandria, a 3-point lead. And out of bounds. So might want to take a timeout here sooner rather than later. Hopefully we can get out of this little rough patch that we're in. And we're able to do so right there. Great set from Allison Stewart and the finish by Mallory Summers to get us back within 3. Cameron Curry back into the Raiders lineup with Allison Stewart back to serve. Definitely need to rattle some points off here. Back in, we'll see number 8, Aubrey McCann for Alexandria. Again, they have a 4-point lead as we get closer and closer to that magic number 25. Nice defense there by McCann. Looked like Heiser went under the net, but she saved herself. So a brief pause in the action here. Got to wipe the floor off. Again, I'd like to thank some more of our sponsors here this evening. Muncie Dragway, owned by Scott and Dawn Daniels. Muncie Dragway, located along State Road 67 west of Albany, Indiana. For more information and upcoming events, visit their website at www.munciedragway.com. 18-15, Alexandria with the lead, make it 19-15. Not sure what's going on here with Wapahani in this second set. They have just had a little bit of it, like I said, a little bit of a rough patch here, and they just can't seem to get their way out of it. Bayer on the attack. That's 4 hits on the Tigers. So back in, we'll see the offensive firepower of Estella Davis and Sarah Orm. Then you got Mallory Summers here as well that can definitely bring some heat. Let's see what we can cook up right here. Davis bringing the kill in a 19-17 ball game, and the Tigers will take a timeout, and probably not a bad idea. We'll step aside here for a break. 19-17, Alexandria leads set number 2. Back at the timeout here live on the WHS Network. Wapahani down by 2 here in set number 2 of the evening. They have a 1-0 lead. They're hoping to gather some momentum as that will be out of, oh, that's going to be hit out of bounds. I'm going to say that the ball was hit off of the net and out of bounds by the Raiders. They're complaining that the ball was tipped off of the blocker's hand out of bounds. So nevertheless, point there for Alexandria. But again, Stella Davis continuing to bring the thunder. Olivia Smith back in here, and she'll be back to serve. So some excitement here in set number 2. There's Bayer, and out of bounds. And now it's a 1-point game, folks. Mishandled there by Van Blair, but Dungan will get it blocked. The good old-fashioned stuffing from Estella Davis. And this game is tied at 20. Dungan with the dig, set to Bayer. We got some free ball action here. Davis with the tip. Now sent to Orm, and a tip of her own, and the Raiders take a lead. And another timeout here by Alexandria, and we'll stick right here with you during the timeout.
Let's go, Tigers!
I'd like to thank some more of our sponsors here this evening. Jones Auto Body, owned by J.R. Fannin, located at 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they've been servicing the community for over 30 years. If you have any questions or need them to take a look at your vehicle, contact them at 765-284-2593. Again, that is Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality. Also, to University Avenue Dental, Greg Pyle, DDS. Greg, along with the rest of his talented dentistry crew, look to solving your unrecognized dental needs with an invaluable patient experience, outstanding treatment, and that cutting-edge dentistry. University Avenue Dental is located at 800 West University Avenue in Muncie, Indiana. Their hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday. So back out of the timeout here, Wapahani with a 21-20 lead, as that one once again will be blocked by Davis. Smith, Stewart, Davis, blocked by Taylor Steinfeld. So now the game tied at 21. And sometimes different parts of the game, you can just kind of feel it. You want to just slam and hammer the ball down as hard as you can. But then sometimes you got to change it up too, so then you're not being repetitive over and over and over again. Soft tip over the net there by Davis. Now Bear back on the attack, dug out by Smith. Here's Orm, handled there by Dungan. Van Blair will get it over. Tipped over, and somehow Sarah Orm able to finagle her way in there to tip the ball over the net and down in play for the Raider point. 22-21. But back across, Summers keeps it alive. Right back to her again as Bear will dig it out. That looked like 2 hits, and they will make the call. A very big point right here. You're up 23-21. Van Blair, Heiser sets it up there to Granger. Orm with the dig. Set to Davis. Yes! 24-21, Wapahani. So here we are, set point. Sarah Orm back to serve. Van Blair with a dig. Set to Bear. And that will be a kill. Make this game just a little bit more interesting than what it already is. Goodness gracious. Got number 12, Curly Remington back to serve. There's Gates. Stewart to Summers. And it's going to be out. 24-23. Gates to Stewart, to Davis. There's Van Blair. Heiser now to Dungan, and free ball. Oh man. Thought for sure we'd be able to hammer that one down. Back to Summers again. It's going to be blocked out of bounds, and the Raiders will take a very close second set, 25-23. Folks, we'll step aside here again. Wapahani with a 2-0 lead. We'll be back here with set number 3 live on the WHS Network.
J.R. Fane in the 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they have been serving the community for over 30 years. Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality.
Welcome back, folks. This is Brandon Morvillius. Alongside with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. As we get prepared for set number 3 of the evening, Wapahani takes the first 2 sets of the night, 25-14, 25-23. And obviously the second set was a little bit more interesting, you could say, than what the first set was. A little too close for comfort. And Wapahani was able to, I guess, kind of withstand things and have a late charge there at the end, and was able to come away with that second set victory. And I don't know, just kind of struggled. There was a lot of different components to it, but the main thing is they fought through it. They battled back. I think Wapahani got as much as down by as much as 4 or 5 points. But they battled back. They didn't quit. They battled back, kept going, and was able to get the victory there in set number 2. And hopefully we'll make it a little bit easier on ourselves here in set number 3. But you do have to give a lot of credit there to Alexandria. They keep battling. They're out here to win a ball game, so they're going to give it their very best. And you've seen a lot of good things there from them in the second set. But luckily Wapahani was able to push forward. So we're hoping for a much better third set here from the Raiders. And already here with a 1-0 lead after a 2-hit call on Alexandria. So Emma Shuck will start us off. So Caitlin Bear continuing to have a real nice game for herself for Alexandria. She has been in large part the biggest offensive threat for the Tigers here this evening. Set to Davis. A little too much mustard on that one. Didn't get down quite enough, but still the right idea. A 2-1 lead for the Tigers. Smith will dig it. Stewart with a set up to Orm. Van Blair digs to Dunnigan. Now Heiser. Tipped over by Bear, and again, always more or less having a hand in the cookie jar, so to speak. Seemingly Caitlin Bear in every single point. Very active out there on the court. Stewart with a set to Davis. Kept alive, and they'll get it over. Wow. That was exceptional. Well, hey, good for that young lady. Make a nice play like that. Deserved. Nicely done. Good job there by Wapahani. Kept it alive, but Bear again back at it. So a now 5-1 Tigers lead. Just doesn't seem like we're playing with the same kind of intensity here that we was necessarily quite playing with there in the first set. That was tipped out of bounds off of Alexandria blockers. So Davis picks up the kill. Sarah Orm back to serve. Summers to Stewart to Davis. Mishandled. That time by Steinfeld. Stewart sets it to Summers. Blocked. Tipped across once again there by Stewart that time around. Smith set to Davis, and there's Duncan. And Caitlin Bear strikes again. Tipped over there by Granger into no man's land, and a 7-4 Tigers lead. We have Cadence Brewer in here for Wapahani. And now in and back to serve is number 12, Remington there for Alexandria. Summers on the attack, and that will land out of bounds. Just having a lot more errors and a lot more issues tonight than we have in a little while. Which, again, you know, you're going to make your mistakes. But hopefully Wapahani doesn't dig themselves too big of a hole here that they can't get out of. You have a 2-0 lead. Let's go ahead and finish this strong. Dungan on the attack that time around. And the Tigers now with a 6-point lead. And that one is served well out of bounds by Remington. Shuck back in here for Smith, and Allison Stewart back to serve. So that time around, that was Allison Granger with the kill. There's Gates to Stewart, over to Shuck. Handled that time by Heiser. Tipped across, there's Stewart back to Gates, over to Summers. Blocked and kept alive. Van Blair on the attack, and that will be in there for a kill. Summers gets the Raiders 1 point closer here, now down by 6. We've got to kick this thing into high gear quickly. We got to bring some intensity, bring some energy, everything. We've got to bring it to the table right here. Set to Orm, blocked, but nice reaction time there by Summers. And wall placement right there from Emma Shuck. And served into the net. For 13-7 Tigers. Steinfeld back in the game. Orm on the attack, and that's going to be a souvenir for the fans. A 5-point ball game. Set up to Van Blair. Now Gates over to Orm. Dug that time by McCann. Hit over, and nobody's going to get there. In comes Caitlin Bear. And a serving error by Dungan. Blocked, but out of bounds. Olivia Smith returns to the Raider lineup, down 15-9. Jenna Reese Van Blair back to serve. Gates will dig it out. Stewart sets it to Orm. Nice little soft touch over the net. All right, ladies, we've got to get it going. Definitely got to start putting the foot on the gas here and see if we can generate any type of momentum for ourselves, because so far it has not been there. Tipped over the net by Summers. Bear back on the attack. Here's Stewart. Back to Summers again. And hit out of bounds. So Summers collects another kill. Dug out that time by McCann. 2 hits. So the Raiders have managed to climb their way a little bit back into it now, down by 3. Got to keep the pressure on them here. Free ball action. Got to use this. The old slide around. Now set to Summers. And another kill for Mallory. And now it stands at 2 and a timeout taken by Alexandria. 15-13 lead. Wapahani down by 2 in set number 3. We'll step aside. We'll be back with more right after the timeout. All right, again, back out of the timeout here. Wapahani down by 2 in the third set of the evening. We've played a lot better here within these last 6 or 7 points. But we've got to keep that trend going. Blocked, and this time by Estella Davis, and I'm not sure if maybe even if Allison Stewart might have got a hand in on that as well. Smith lays out for the dig. Summers punches it across and found some open land out there. 15 all. And an ace for Sarah Orm. And the Raiders have now taken the lead. Skipped over the top of the net. Heisner to Van Blair. There's Orm, Stewart, Davis. Yes! 17-15 Wapahani. Set to Bear, tips it over there, Smith. Stewart sets it to Summers. Unleashed on that one. As they'll get it back over here again is Stewart. This time to Davis. Tips it over that time. Heiser backpedaling. Couldn't get much on that one. And Davis with the kill. It is all Wapahani here within these last 10 points. Very good to see they have started getting back to the basics of the game here, and that's just playing it the right way first and foremost. Another timeout by Alexandria. Wapahani leads it 19-15. We'll stick right here with you during the timeout. I'd like to thank some more of our sponsors here this evening. Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC dealership, owned by Randy Stoops. They're located at 4055 West Clare Lane in Muncie, Indiana. Stoops has a wide variety of brand new and pre-owned vehicles of quality brand names. So if you have an interest in a vehicle, to actually know more information about one, you can contact Stoops at 765-288-1903 and also visit their online website at stoopsauto.com. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. They're also open Saturday from 8 to 4. So again, a special thanks there to Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC dealership. Stoops is driven to be the best. Also, the barn lot located at 2410 East County Road 300 South, just off of State Road 67 in Muncie, Indiana. Scott Quirk is the man to supply all of your outside needs. Barns, sheds, garages, carports, gazebos, play sets for the kids, and more. You can contact him at 765-744-7396. So a point there for the Tigers. Make it a 3-point game. Now back to serve be number 9, Morgan Moore. Oh, no. So an ace for Moore. Olivia thought that was heading out of bounds and just a little bit short. Orm with the dig. Stewart back to Davis. Mishandled by Dungan, but somehow Alexandria able to keep it going. Block kept alive by Olivia, and in there for the point for Haven Gates. 20-17 Raiders. And we're going to see Layla Lee now in here for the first time tonight for Brewer. Stella Davis back to serve. Heiser to Van Blair. There's Summers. Stewart back to Summers again. Tips it over. Uses the old left hand. And Lee will hit it out of bounds. As we'll see number 12, Carly Remington back in here, now serving down by 2. Kept alive by Stewart, and Summers will bury that one. As Emma Shuck returns to action for Wapahani. Allison Stewart back to serve. Wapahani up by 3. As we get later and later here in this third set. Getting Wapahani up 2-0 and hit out of bounds by Mallory Summers. There's Moore. Set that time to Dungan and out of bounds. So the point goes to Wapahani. Mallory Summers back to serve. Orm on the attack. Morgan Moore with the dig. Nice hands by Summers, and Emma will get it back across. The block back down in play. as number 8, Aubrey McCann, into the Tiger lineup. Wapahani leads it by 2. Very close third set here as well. Set to Sarah Orm and inbounds. She has been money all game long. Her and Stella Davis both. Mallory Summers done a nice job. Seen Emma Shuck really put in some valuable points here as well. Cameron Curry mishandled, and here we are at game point. 24-20. Heiser with the setup to Steinfeld. There's Stewart. Gates over to Orm. Miss Moneymaker herself will get the job done here tonight, folks, as your Wapahani Lady Raiders will take this one in straight sets. 25-14, 25-23, 25-20 to now improve to 16-2 on the season. We'll step aside here for a break. We'll be back with more on our Raiders Live post-game report coming up right here live on the WHS Network. Welcome back here to the Raiders Live post-game. Wapahani on the smiling side of the scoreboard here this evening, folks. 25-14, 25-23, 25-20 with a straight set victory over the Alexandria Lady Tigers. Folks, again, greatly appreciate you all for joining us again here this evening. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, enjoyed the game. And it wasn't exactly the prettiest at all times throughout the ball game here, but Wapahani played well enough to get the W, and that's all that matters. Obviously some things that definitely here of late we've done a lot better job of. Kind of had some mistakes here this evening, but did a lot of good things as well. I think that's always important to point out. Anybody can point out bad things you might do wrong, but it's always nice to hear the good things as well. Kind of evens things out more. We struggled throughout the ball game here, but we continued to battle. You continued to fight and never, give in. When things weren't looking very good for us, things were a little shaky at times throughout the game where we weren't playing all that well, and Alexandria had a little bit of a lead on us. We stayed the course, continued to play hard, stick together, and was able to battle through it and was able to get the win. So very important to always recognize that. Even not on your best night, you can still find a way to win, and that's what's most important. So nevertheless, Wapahani will be back at it, folks, on Saturday during the Muncie Central Invitational, which, again, I'm fairly positive that will be held at Southside. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's what I'm assuming will be the venue for the Invitational. And now, again, we will not be there to broadcast or to do any kind of updates. We really, in all honesty, we were not sure what they would be able to provide for us as far as a seating arrangement, as far as, how we'd be able to broadcast the game. or any of that, and so there was a lot of uncertainties when it came to that. And like I said, in years past, things were fine. We was at the field house, set up in the booth. Pretty quick and easy, simple stuff. But this year, going to be a little bit different with the situation going on there at the Muncie Fieldhouse uptown. So instead of being there broadcasting it and a lot of uncertainties and things like that, and potentially not being able to broadcast the game at all or even do any kind of updating, we're not going to be there whatsoever on Saturday. So we do apologize for that. But nevertheless, we'll try to keep updates as we can find them out as the day goes along on Saturday. We'll try to post stuff on here. We'll be able to find out some information for you folks if you're not able to make it. So just hope that Wapahani has a great day on Saturday. Hopefully we can continue our winning ways and get back to playing some really good volleyball. Leave some of that some of the bad play, some of the little mistakes that we had, get that out of the way and leave it behind and keep pushing forward and progressing together. So, good win here tonight. Again, they'll be back at it on Saturday. I think our next broadcast, it'll be a little while. We got the county tournament coming up next week. So, we got about roughly a week and a half or so until our next broadcast. So we'll be posting stuff on Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff for you fine folks. We do want to say thanks to all of our sponsors here this evening: Jones Auto Body, Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC Dealership, University Avenue Dental, Greg Pyle, DDS, B. Joseph Davis, Attorney at Law, Muncie Dragway, FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook and Joanne Davis, Tom Terry Mufflers, The Barn Lot, Liberty Prairie Alumni Association, and also a huge thanks to our good friends there at Harris Chapel Church, Pastor Jim Ballinger and his wife, Janie. So, folks, again, we appreciate you for joining us. We do hope that all of you enjoyed the game here this evening. It's been a great night of Lady Raider volleyball, and we'll be back at it, like I said, here in a couple weeks. So until then, I'm Brandon Morvillius. Alongside with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time right here on the WHS Network.